We're canning up. We're gonna can up a bunch of beef broth today. This has been in this roaster for over 24 hours. I'm gonna strain all of this out. We're gonna put it in our quart jars, and we're gonna get ready to pressure can it. I have all my quart jars in the oven right now, getting hot, because when you can hot liquid, you need it into hot jars. So let's get it going. I'm straining all of this broth that's been roasting, and the only thing that's in here is a bunch of beef bones from some stuff that I had canned up the other day, plus some other random beef bones that I had in my freezer. And I save all my veggie scraps, all my onion peels, garlic, carrot, celery, and once I get a gallon or two bagged up in the freezer and I have enough bones, I just throw this in the roaster. And then usually I can get 14 quarts of broth out of this roaster. Just heat all of my jars. I'll put them in the oven for just a little bit at 200 degrees. That way they're nice and hot. I usually like to have a coffee filter in here too, so it'll catch all of anything that does. I try to just get mostly just broth, but sometimes some little particles will fall through. When you're doing chicken broth, you're gonna can it all the way up to the bottom rim, which gives you about 1 inch headspace.
Here, I'll go grab my night light.
You wanna make sure there's no residue on any of these lids, because sometimes there can be. Get round one going into the canner. Once these go in the canner, they're gonna pressure cook for 90 minutes on quarts, and if you're doing pints, it's gonna be 75 minutes. You're gonna put your lids on, or your rings, fingertip tight.
And then what else?
You get a little towel.
You can put that wherever. And then the ribbons you can just tie on wherever you want.
Depending on what size canner you have, mine will hold 7 quarts or 16 pints. All right. We are gonna get our lid on. I always try to make sure the sides are pretty even. I usually just grab a good old little butter knife just to make sure before I start locking it down, I want the sides even, so I'm not. There we go. Before I start locking it down. Once these are all locked down and your heat is on high, you're gonna wait until you start seeing steam coming out of this. Once you do, you're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. After that 10 minutes, then you can put your pressure regulator on. For my elevation, I'm at 15 pounds of pressure. So now we just wait. So hopefully the background. All right, we've been boiling for 10 minutes and there's been steam coming out of here. So now I'm gonna take this and put it up to 15 pounds of pressure, pop it on here. And now we're gonna start letting this build up to about 15 pounds of pressure. And once this builds up to pressure, that's when you're gonna start your 90-minute timer. All right, our stuff is done. Make sure we don't have any busted jars. All is good. Let's check one of these bad boys out. Oh, I forgot to put a vinegar in here. So when you forget to put vinegar in your water, what happens when you have hard water? Just have to wash it off. I always put a splash of vinegar in my canner. A towel over to help keep the heat in so they don't have any breakage. But yeah, if you do put vinegar in there, you won't have any white residue, just with hard water and stuff. Get that.